Hello everyone and welcome back for another Accounting Solutions update video. In today's video we're going to be discussing the updates coming in version 1.7.8. These include the new Autoroutes function to allow you to automatically calculate the best route for your deliveries, changes to the zero export function, and some other bugs and fixes. So to get started you need to install the update. You've been sent the link to download the latest update. Simply extract it from the zip file. I'll just minimize that. And if you right click on the icon on your desktop and go to open file location, and then simply drag and drop the file across. When prompted, click replace the file in the destination. Once you've done that, simply launch the system as normal. If prompted with the security warning, click enable content. Next you'll be prompted to install the update fully. Simply press yes. Once the update is installed, you'll be notified that version 1.7.8 requires a manual adjustment due to a command being removed by Microsoft. We will make these modifications for you when we do the installation, or if you're doing a self-installation, I'll show you now what needs to be adjusted. If you exit the system before continuing, and you want to right click on the icon on your desktop and open file location, and you're looking for the DB file here. So if we open that file, and to make the adjustments, you're simply looking for the customer table, which is at the top here, right clicking and entering design view. And then you simply want to scroll down until you find the longitude and latitude fields. And within these fields, we are simply, if we expand that, simply changing the first field to double, the second field to general number, and the decimal places to 10. And we want to repeat that on this field here. Instead of using the drop down menus, you can of course double click until the number that you're looking for or the value you're looking for appears. And that's all you need to do. Simply save that and exit. And then we can simply launch the system as normal. Once at the login screen, you can enter your username and password, scan your barcoded ID badge, or swipe your NFC tag ID. You'll then be shown the current version release notes. Once you've had a look over those, just simply tap close. First we're going to have a look at the new Autoroutes function. This function works by calculating the distance between different stops on a route and finding which one is the best, shortest route between each point on the map. And this is done using the coordinates for each customer's location. If you wish to use this function, it will require some level of setup, and that setup time will depend on how many customers that you have, as you require the coordinates for each customer as well as your base location. Now I'm going to show you now where you need to set that information, then I'm going to show you where to gather that information from. So first of all, you'll need your base location. So we'll go into the options menu and you'll see here the longitude and latitude located just beneath your address section. So this is where you set your base location for using the Autoroutes function. Next, you'll also need to apply that to each customer as well. So if we go into our customers manager and we edit a customer, and we'll just choose one at random, you will see here that we have the longitude and latitude as well, which need to be input for each customer. Now in the future, I hope to have a system where if the address is correct, it will generate this automatically. However, Google's API key is currently £200 a month, so for now, at least we'll have to do this manually. Now to find this information manually, it's as simple as going to Google Maps. So if you're looking for the longitude and latitude, we'll zoom into Falkirk, and we will just find a business on the high street. There we go, let's tap on KFC. So if you tap on their icon, so that could be the icon of your customer, and you'll see the address bar at the top changes. And what you're looking for is the set of coordinates here at the end is the longitude and latitude. And simple case of coming along, choosing each location, so let's click on this takeaway here, and right at the end of the address, you're simply taking that figure there and that figure there. Remembering as well that some locations may have a minus on it as well there. If your client's location does not have, or yours does not have a Google Maps location, you can simply choose a point on the map that might represent their business, say their business was here, and then go to what's here. Now you'll see at the bottom there is a set of coordinates that are displayed. These coordinates are wrong. All you need to simply do though is click on those coordinates and then the address bar will be updated with the correct set of coordinates for you. Then it's a simple case once again of taking those coordinates there and copying and pasting them into the appropriate spaces here on the longitude and latitude of each customer. From the customer management screen as well, you can also set which is going to be the default route, so that could be which van perhaps that they're going on each day for that particular customer, depending on how your week schedule is worked out. Now, to manage these routes, simply come up to the main menu, go to Setup Tables, and Maintain Delivery Routes. From here you can add new routes, so the one we're going to be concentrating on is Central, as in Central Belt in Scotland. We can add extra ones in here. You could maybe just put the registration number of your vehicles, whichever is convenient for you to recognise what route that customer belongs to for that day. Next we'll have a look at the Autoroutes itself. So if we exit those menus there, and we want to go to Operations Manager and then Route Planner. So first of all, in addition to our normal test data that we have here on our demonstration system, I've selected a list of real-world locations located around the area here in Scotland. So to show you those, I will show you what we have selected here on Google Earth. So if we just clear all the other names out here, see, here is our base location that we set in the options screen, and this is a set of random people that I have chosen just at random by simply zooming in and out of the map and clicking on their places and getting the coordinates. And what we're going to do is we are going to see what the system comes up with for a default route that will take us around this area. So let's just minimize that for now. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to clear out all of the information on here. So now you see that no routes have been set. There's no order for the delivery order for any customer now for Monday. You can of course choose different days as well just by simply coming on the drop down menu and clicking here. But now we're going to use the Autoroutes function and see what route it puts it in. So you're probably have a warning that this cannot be overridden. And as well, if a customer does not have coordinates set, they will not be included in the routes and they will be highlighted with -1. And this as well only works for active customers. If a customer is not active, then they're not taken into consideration for the route system. So once we're happy that we're alright that we're going to override it, we'll just simply press yes. So see here the page is refreshed and everyone has been stacked in the correct order for what the system has predicted would be the best way to deliver everyone's order if everyone was to get an order. I should note as well that these are the default routes, and these are the routes and the stack order that will be applied whenever an order is created and a date is changed on a delivery date for an order. It comes over to here, it looks for the right day, and then it will assign the route and its position each time for each order. But we'll come on to the editing by order shortly. But next, there are several things that you can do now that you have this order. But first of all, let's have a look at what route it has predicted. So we have here, we're going to look at our central route here. And as we noticed before, if we bring back up here, that is all of these locations that we have with the little blue dots here. So let's minimize that. And from the route selector, we are going to choose central. And then if we tap C route, you can see that Google Maps has loaded, and each one of the locations that we selected, starting from our base location, which is here, has been put into a route. And here you can see this is the optimal path that the system has found for you to make all the deliveries for that default route. As I said, this is based from distances from each point, so it starts from the base point, and then it looks for what is the closest person to the next, which is this location up here. And then using this new location as the base point, it then looks for where's the next place that hasn't received the delivery yet. And then it simply steps through all those motions there as it visits each place on its little list on that route. And then when it's exported to Google Maps, you'll be able to see here the route that has been highlighted. So let's just come out of there. Now, if once that is calculated, you wish to change the position of somebody, perhaps there's a particular customer that you wish to visit first as a default. I will highlight as well, this is a default, so that would be what will be the permanently assigned. You can simply just change its number here in its position. Now, what you would think is, let's say we want to move the Dollar Academy, we want to move them to position 2. So let's just tap in 2 there. Now, you would think that you might have to go here and then change that to 3 and so on and so on and so on. All you have to do though here is you've chosen you want this one to be in the number 2 position, and simply double click on that line. And you'll see here that the Dollar Academy has been put into second place, and everyone else has had their numbers automatically pushed out when you double clicked. This can work in the opposite direction as well. Let's say I wanted to do Dollar Academy last. Let's just put in a huge number, and we will simply double click. And you see there, Dollar Academy has now been actually assigned to 15 because that is the last one in that route cycle. It wouldn't contain the number of 999. It would just simply slot into position on that route. You can of course use this as well for any others. So let's say we wanted this one to go into 13th place. Double click and it's away. This also goes for if you wish to change a route. So let's say we wanted to add, let's say Aperture Science. Let's add those onto the central. So it's a case of just double clicking on there and that will put those first. And because that had a 1 that has been assigned at the first place, you can of course then go back to Autoroutes and say that you wish to override. And that will actually create a new route. And in this case, Aperture Science has been predicted to go last in route. So let's just reassign that back to where it was. And we will tap yes to that. And there we go, and that's been now put back into its original route. You see here as well, as I was saying before, places such as our case as Workshop and Retail Till do not have coordinates set, so they've been highlighted with a -1. And what we'll do now is we will choose that route which is online, and we will go to C route, and you'll see that that location is not selected in our route, and only the 3 places which are as online will be shown on the map. So here we go, we can see our starting point and the 3 locations which have coordinates that can be assigned. And this one here, because I was randomly picking places from all over the area, you can see here it has highlighted a route that would take you all the way to the last place, which I selected somewhere in the middle of Hamburg. So that covers the basics of the route planning system. Next we're going to have a look at the route by order system. So underneath the day we can click the route editor by order, and we have some test data set on the 5th. So we choose the date, tap restack, and here you can see all the orders which are going out on that particular day, and their route and stack position has been assigned by whatever was in the default positions at the time that the order was created or the time that the last order date was changed for that particular order. So next let's take a closer look at some of our test data here that we have. We see that we have deliveries that are going on 2 routes at the moment. So we have a Royal Mail route and of course our Central Scotland. And because we don't have an order for every single one of these customers, you'll see here that the routes go, say for the Central one, you've got 2, 3, 4, there's no delivery number 5. That doesn't make any difference at all because they're still in numerical order. It doesn't have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 every time. You can of course, if you wish, click on the Autoroutes function here as well, and it will recalculate based on the orders here. So if we tap on there, same again as well, if a route does not have a set of coordinates, or a customer does not have a set of coordinates, it will display as -0. So let's just tap OK. And you see there, that is again just restack those, and those are actually in the exact same order as what they were from the default route that we had a moment ago. You can of course reassign an individual order. So let's say we wish to put this order here in that 1 delivery group. So if you've only got 1 delivery, you might as well just use 1 van in this sort of scenario. So let's just tap Autoroutes again and see what it comes out with. So you see there is put that new one in the last position, and let's just see what that looks like on the maps. So first we'll select our route, so we'll choose Central, and then we will click C route. And there we have, from our base location here, we can see for that handful of orders that we had, it has highlighted the delivery route that will take us along here and then to our last stop, which was the extra one that we added, which was over here. So perhaps in this scenario, that first van would have been over here and the second van might have been over this region perhaps. The one thing we can look at, see that's a 3 hours and 18-minute drive for that particular run. Of course that doesn't take into account how long you would spend on each site, but let's see what would happen if we were to visit that one first, as with this one location seems rather out of the way. So let's say we wanted to go to that one first and then resume the route that we've or previously have defined here. So let's come out of there for a moment. And with this one here, you don't have to double click when you rearrange something, but the stacks on this page do allow for decimal places. So you can, let's say for example, we put 0.5 in here. Now that's just so we can visually see this, tap restack. and that will put everything in numerical order. So you see here now that Aperture Science is now coming up first. You can of course change any of these as well to any other orders just by changing the decimal place between them, and that will save you time, so that with the scenario we mentioned before, if you were to change say this one here to 2, you don't then have to go and then find number 2 and change that to 3 and then to 4 and so on. You can simply just put a decimal place in there and that will slot it into that gap. But let's have a look at what the route is there. So the previous one was, I think, 3¼ hours. Let's see what we have here, where we've changed the manual from what Autoroute predicted. And you see, using that route there, where we visit this location first, has added an extra 20 minutes or so onto our actual journey. So the route that Autoroutes predicted was the better route. So let's just tap on there again and reset those. And then we will see that route again. And yeah, 3 hours 18. So there was about a 20-minute difference from what Autoroute had predicted there. You can, of course, if you have changed these and you wish to change these back, perhaps to start again, you can press Restore Default. And what the Restore Default button does is it goes back to what these routes were here. So let's just tap Restore Default. And we'll say, yes, we want to change those back to default for any orders placed on that day. And now you see that top one is now reset back to Royal Mail where it was before, and these have all been restacked in the same order again. So there you have the Autoroute function. As the Autoroute function develops, we will make more precision jumps between each location to get a more accurate route. But I will just remind you that you do have to set the coordinates for each of your customers. And that information must be in this format here, and it can be found by finding the location you're looking for on Google Maps. Next, we're going to have a quick look at some of the changes made to the zero export function. And this is a change to the purchase order export side on the account code field. The account code will be based on the product's category and a new ID which has been added. So if we come over to Setup Tables and Product Categories, and you see here there's a new field for external reference. So you have your category name here, and if that has an external reference on 0, let's just put 555. So let's say in our scenario here that the parts category, its parent category or the category above it, is accessories that we've just assigned there. Now if you perform the zero export, any products that were purchased whose category belongs to parts will display with the account code 555 in that scenario there. So I'll just remind you there as well that the parent category is the category which this category here belongs to. So the parts category in this scenario, any products that are encapsulated by that would belong to accessories as well, being its parent category. The next part of the update is a major bug fix in the way that Access processes numbers in the form of integers. Extensive testing has been carried out to make sure that this error has been handled and converted to the new number system. However, if any error messages do appear, please report them immediately so that they can be corrected. These errors could occur when dealing with any numbers greater than 32,000. Another new feature has been added to the product and product cost forms. So to find those, we'll go to the price management, and first we'll click on products. And at the bottom here, you'll see 2 new sort by options. Now from here, by default, you're sorted by category, and then the categories are then sorted by alphabetical order in the products. If you wish to change that to just having alphabetical order by product, tap products, or if you wish to have it by category, tap category. And this feature is also on the product cost table at the bottom here as well there. So just tapping that will then adjust the sort order on the page here. So that was all the updates coming in version 1.7.8. This update will be rolling out within the next week. So don't forget to rate, comment, favourite and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.